All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for my second to last Sakamoto Days read through before next week's, which is going to be the first Monday of November. And that'll be my final read through where I'm reading a whole bunch of chapters at once. And then Sakamoto Days after that session will move to Sundays. So let's go ahead and get started with today's chapters, shall we? Yeah. My phone's over there. Give me a sec. Hold on. Hold that intro for one moment. Hold it for one moment. All right. I also cracked open a window. I cracked open a window. Hold. Hold, men. I said hold. Hold. Okay, there we go. Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome to yet another session of Sakamoto Days. Today's chapters we're going to be going through are chapters 171 all the way to 179, and then every chapter after that will just be in one big session. Now, there should be, I want to say after today's session, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the next time I read Sakamoto Days, the newest chapter for the series will drop on that preceding Sunday. So when I read the rest of these chapters, I will be fully caught up with Sakamoto Days in one fell swoop next Monday. Medela, it is good to see you. Welcome, everyone. So yeah, after we're done with today, the remaining chapters will be from chapters 180 all the way until the newest one that drops next week. So yeah, we got it all lined up, and I'm almost done with my full-on Sakamoto Days catch-up, which I've been reading for quite a while now. When did these chapters first come out? It goes past 2023, so I want to assume that they dropped in 2022? When Sakamoto Days came out? I could be wrong. I could be wrong for the first chapter. But yeah, we got chapters 171 all the way to 179. Now, let's bring you up to speed to what's happened. So, in the last set of chapters, Old Man Takamura showed up, and he just did work. He cut through Haruma effortlessly. I believe he cut through Gaku. And right when it looks like, and mind you, Sakamoto is trying to defend himself, and mind you, also, Sakamoto is in his slimmer state. So even then, Old Man Takamura is still too much for Sakamoto to even handle, showing that at that time, Takamura was the most powerful assassin in all the world. Until Uzuki had yet another mental breakdown, and because he suffers from multiple personalities, a new one was created from all the stress of seeing his friends getting cut down, and the stress of fighting for his life. It proceeded to create a brand new personality, where one personality perfectly emulates, bit the sound of my tongue, I'm sorry. While one personality perfectly emulates that of Ryo Nakao, a new one popped up that perfectly emulated Takamura. And in the process, Uzuki cuts down Takamura, as if Uzuki has become Takamura himself. See, the thing about Uzuki's multiple personalities is that it perfectly imitates the individual, not just down to their speech, not just down to their mental processes, but also down to the very techniques that said person uses. So in an instant, as if by some act of superhuman recollection, Uzuki created a personality that is an exact carbon copy of Takamura. So now Uzuki has a personality that can fight as the most powerful and strongest assassin in the world that even Sakamoto couldn't bring down. That's another personality. If this dude ain't like that one guy from Split, I don't know what else to tell you. his ability to create personalities that allows him to tap into the strength of these individuals that he's imitating with these personalities, that's terrifying. Dude is literally getting closer and closer to Legion levels from Marvel. I'm just saying, he may not have supernatural powers, but his ability to create personalities that can also be just as powerful as the individuals that he's copying, that's a very scary ability to have for a person in the assassin world. Cal's own good assassin world. I said word, I'm correcting myself, world. But that's enough of the recap. After that went down, well, actually, you know what? We're not done. After that went down, Sakamoto and company left, and since Asaki put a massive hit on not only Sakamoto, Shin, but also Nagumo as well, they all have bounties on their heads, and they are high-level assassin targets. So high level that the remainders of the order, including 2 new members, Torres and the other guy, who's basically a musician, along with Osaragi and Shishiba, they have all made it their mission to hunt down Sakamoto, Nagumo, and Shin. And, well, actually, not Shin, I meant to say Uzuki. Sakamoto, Nagumo, and Uzuki. I don't know why I thought that Shin was right up there with them. No, I think I'm wrong. I think Shin is up there as well, because Uzuki's gone. But they're all targets, and they're being hunted by the Order now. And last we get is Sakamoto wondering if he should even be here with his family, because his family is kind of being caught up in the middle of it. Aoi and Hana, they're kind of being caught up in it as, you know, members of the JAA are scoping out his place where his family's at. So that's all going down. I'm sorry. It's a long, I know it's a bit of a long recap, but let's go ahead and get started with the chapters. Someone will probably make a timestamp of it or something if I don't make it myself. At exactly 8 minutes. Let's go ahead and get started with today's chapter. Chapter 171. Well, actually, it's best to say days 171. Belonging. And Sakamoto is looking at his place. And he's just thinking. The same words he said in the last chapter. Maybe I'm not meant to be here. And then Nagumo speaks up. Well, duh. Both of us are wanted men now. You already were, actually. We've been labeled as ex-conspirators in the terrorist attack on the museum. There's no going back now. The Order could come after us at any moment, just like this morning. You know, you could have backed off. I warned you. But you kept going. Don't lecture me. You're one to talk, Nagumo. Now what do I do? Isn't it obvious? You have 2 choices if you want to survive. Kill X and prove your innocence to the JAA. Or destroy the JAA. One or the other. That's the choices? Those are the choices he's being given? Either way, death seems inevitable. And Sakamoto is just casually walking through the streets. How did this happen? And he's just casually walking past some JAA members. Hey! What's up, Nakatsugawa? What's up, Nakatsugawa? Isn't that Taro Sakamoto? You're right! That idiot isn't even paying attention! Now's our chance! And Sakamoto is just casually thinking to himself while these 2 dudes try to bear down on him. One of them just drops his ice cream cone. Why would you waste food like that? They try to jump him, and Sakamoto, without even paying them any attention, just easily bodies the both of them while he's still thinking. I just want to live in peace. It all started when Akao put that 1 billion yen bounty on my head and dragged me back into this world. She sure is forceful, even though she's dead. In any case, I'd better talk with Aoi. And then it cuts to Aoi, who is back at her shop. But what should I say? Maybe it's better if I leave. Sounds kinda irresponsible.
When Taro gets back, I'll have to talk to him about that.
Huh? About what? And then a JAA member sees Sakamoto, because Mind you, Sakamoto is inside of his own store, but he's hiding from his wife. Like, he doesn't want to give her that talk yet. And a JA member sees him in there and goes, "Oh, it's our Sakamoto! Die!" And as soon as he says die, Sakamoto puts him in an immediate headlock, and I still think he's breaking necks when he does this. He cracks his neck, and then just puts him to sleep. Don't tell me. I've been such a loser that now she wants a divorce.
Gee, we're in the red again this month. If this keeps up, we might have to close the store.
Say what? Owie, what's all this about?
Oh, welcome back.
Close the store?
Yes, the truth is, for a while now, more and more assassins have been coming around, which scares off the regular customers, causing sales to decline. And with more big chain convenience stores opening around the train station, it's hard for a privately owned shop to compete. I'm sorry. I know you have a lot going on.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. And then Sakamoto's quiet. Owie, maybe it's time for us to move somewhere safer.
But I don't want to give up this shop. We started this shop together. All of our struggles, all of our joys. It's full of memories.
And that's when Sakamoto goes like, my wife. I'm sorry, I'm being silly today. My wife. She's right. The reason I started this shop. And it's cutting back to when they were still with each other, right when they... Ooh!
Another bad interview?
Yeah. Maybe I just don't belong in this world.
That's not true. Wait. What's with this place? You live here, Taro?
Yeah, on the second floor. They were gonna tear it down, so they said I could just use it.
I had no idea!
So the place that Taro was living in when he was with Aoi before they got married is the place that would later turn into the Sakamoto store. It's an old, rundown building. All the windows upstairs are broken, boards everywhere. It is just It's a dump! It's a dump!
Wow, nobody's using the first floor?
Every now and then I work out down here.
Hey, I have an idea. Let's open up a shop here. A local store for the people who live in the neighborhood. We'll create a place where you belong.
And then it shows time passing. It shows time passing as Sakamoto's working on his store, and he's making the sign and everything. And then it shows Aoi and him advertising for the place. Time continues to pass. Renovations are made to it. They have Hana. And then it cuts to Shin and Lu and Heisuke and pretty much to the present where it is now. And then we cut back to Sakamoto. And he's just looking at his wife.
Sorry, I guess I'm making this harder.
No, thank you, Aoi. I don't want to lose the shop either. We made it together. A place where I belong. Hey, it's Mr. And then it cuts to everyone in the back at the clinic. Hey, it's Mr. Sakamoto. Taro, you shouldn't be out and about. What are you doing? And I guess we're seeing this from Sakamoto's perspective as he's just dashing past everyone and gets on the computer in the clinic. Wu-Tang and old lady Mia are there as well. What are you doing? Mr. Sakamoto? What are you looking up? Shin, how many branches does the JAA have in Japan? Let's see. Maybe 13? 37 in Japan. 4 overseas. Twice as many if you count affiliated assassin companies. Why? Are they in cities? Huh? Well, of course. The more people there are, the more assassination requests there'll be. Mr. Sakamoto, what on earth? I know what I have to do now. And he's thinking back to when his wife said,
We started this shop together. All of our struggles, all of our joys. It's full of memories.
We take over the JAA and turn Sakamoto's into a national chain store. What? I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon? This is the first chapter we get in this list? And it's Sakamoto saying we take over the JAA and then make Sakamoto's a national store. A national chain store. What?
Did you get serious brain damage battling the order, Mr. Sakamoto?
Taro, maybe you should get some rest. And then Wu-Tang, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I dig it. Assassins gotta have balls.
And that's Lady Mia saying that. I mean it. Listen. And then the news turns on. JAA News. This just in. A major terrorist attack has just struck the JAA-owned weapons factory. And everyone looks as Shin looks in horror. X and his gang are believed to be behind the attack. A fierce battle is currently raging on site. The number of casualties is unknown. Floaters are calling for the evacuation of local residents. And it shows the camera feed. And on the camera feed, it shows a destroyed building. And Uzuki is in full view of the camera. With Kumanomi there. And who's the other person? Hold on. How many people are still alive? How many people are still alive in X's crew? Is Gaku still alive? I recognize Kumanomi. Carolina Reaper has been, chopped up like a pepper. Haruma has definitely been diced up. Who's this other person? But Uzuki is there with his crew, and it shows that he is in his... I want to say he's in his Takamura state because he's still carrying a sword with him. And it just shows the glazed over eyes of Uzuki. So they're already attacking a JAA facility. And that's the end of chapter 171. Onwards to days 172, Mirage. This is JAA HQ. Come in, Base 06. This is JAA HQ. Come in, Base 06! And inside this base, which I believe is that same weapons factory, there is an almost endless amount of bodies in this one panel. Kanaguri's still alive! I forgot he's still alive. I completely forgot about Kanaguri. It's been so long. It's been so long since I've seen Kanaguri. He's still alive. How gruesome. This is beyond belief. And it shows Uzuki. It shows Uzuki mumbling to himself. When X came back from the museum, and I heard he'd taken on Takamura's identity, I only half believed it. But his behavior and his fighting skills are exactly like Takamura's. And Uzuki's still mumbling. Then it shows Akira, who's there with Kanaguri. I can't say... Hold on. I need to go back. Hold on. Go back to that final panel. No, that can't be Akira. That's in full view there. Because it looks like the way that Kumanomi dresses up. No pants, but long boots. In like her little bathing suit piece. That looks like her. Unless that is Akira. If that's Kanaguri and Akira, then I guess that would make this chapter more accurate. I'm sorry, I had to double check. When X came back from the museum, and I heard he'd taken on Takamura's identity, I only half believed it. But this behavior and his fighting skills are exactly like Takamura's. Because Uzuki's still mumbling. Then it shows Akira, who's just like, I guess... holding back from throwing up amidst this literal sea of corpses in this room. You okay? Didn't I say you don't have to come along?
I'm fine. More importantly, this is way out of line. We have to stop X.
That's not possible. He's now the most lethal He's now the most lethal assassin in JAA history. I wanted to make sure that I said that right. He's now the most lethal assassin in JAA history. This is also a test to observe what he can do. He's now the most lethal assassin in JAA history. This is also a test to observe what he can do. I wanted to make sure I said that right. Because sometimes this accent gets me. He's more capable than proven. He's more than proven his capabilities. Now. And he's still talking. He's still muttering to himself. And then Kumanomi, with a genuine smile and like a rosy look on her face, rolls up and goes,
Kay! Incredible. I was worried because you're still injured, but you took everyone out like it was nothing. Now even without Gaku or Haruma.
Yep, Gaku is dead. Okay? I was literally skeptical that even though Haruma was shown to be cut completely through, I didn't know if Gaku was still alive. But she's basically confirming that Gaku died. Takamura got his revenge and took him all the way out. So yeah.
Now even without Gaku or Haruma, the two of us should be enough.
And Uzuki's muttering to himself. And Kanaguri is just filming.
Huh? What'd you say, Kay?
And Uzuki, while still under this Takamura persona, immediately destroys her bionic arm. Basically just destroys her arm in an instant.
Huh?
And it just shows Uzuki's face. Oh, Takamura is beyond X's control.
Kay!
And then it shows Uzuki muttering again as Akira comes in and grabs Kumanomi before Uzuki can kill her. Literally moving her out of the way with only a little bit of her hair being cut off. Hey, Akira, that was cool. What a shot. A lovely young girl risked her life to save another. So glad you came.
But, Kay, why? Why would you? It seems like maybe X still doesn't have total control over Takamura's personality. I don't believe this. Kay wouldn't attack me. We're family. Did I do something to piss him off? I don't know what to do. Kumanomi, let's get out of here. If we don't... Shut up! Kay wasn't like this before you showed up! Bring back the old Kay right now!
Kumanomi is getting bent out of shape about this. She's losing it. She used to be one of the most calm individuals. She used to be one of the most calm people here. And now, this whole moment with Uzuki, she can't handle it at all. The fact that Kay is not the present person in charge of the body.
This is bad. She's panicking. Kanaguri, help me with Kumanomi.
And then Kanaguri just goes, shh. I told you, you're the lead and I'm the director. That's our relationship. Don't lean on me for help. The heroine can surmount any crisis with wisdom, cleverness, and love. If you're our heroine, let's see how you handle this alone. And Akira just kind of like scoffing just goes,
Now what? Without things are going, X will kill all of us.
And it shows the face of Uzuki as, I guess, the Takamura personality. I guess the Takamura personality is just sitting in charge inside of his mind, like in this very dark void where he's just sitting on a chair. The Takamura personality is just sitting on a chair with his sword in hand. And then Rion shows up, and I guess the Rion personality shows up and slashes the Takamura personality in the neck. And right before Akira can get slashed by the Sakamoto personality who was proceeding to kill Akira, the blade stops. And it looks like the Rion personality has taken over. Whew. That was a close one. Yeesh, that K. Leave it to him to bring in a real doozy of a roommate.
Rion?
There she is, Rion Akawa.
Not another personality. I've had enough. What's with all of you? Bring back Aki!
And Kumanomi just starts ripping apart metal in the room. And Rion, the Rion personality, just says, "What do 5 fingers say to the face?" and slaps Kumanomi so hard, slaps Kumanomi so hard, Uzuki causes an earring to fly off of her face. Her face is literally dented in and, recoiling from getting slapped, and she gets tossed across the factory. Shut up! Akira, let's get out of here, right now. Kei can't control that old geezer.
What?
Listen up and listen good. We're just figments of Kei's memories.
His memories?
Kei remembers this old geezer as an out-of-control killing machine. That's all he knows about old man Sakamoto. All he can replicate is a rampaging killer who massacres friend and enemy alike. Ah, so it's not an exact copy. I get it! The personalities are based off of how Uzuki sees these people. So if a personality of Takamura is based off of Uzuki seeing Takamura as the most unstoppable force that friend and foe cannot control at all, then that's how the personality behaves. So the Takamura personality inside of Uzuki is now one of the most overpowered things in the series thus far. That's dangerous, and it's an aspect of it. It's a personality that he can kind of tap into, but he can't control. Joy. That's all he knows about old man Takamura. All he can replicate is a rampaging killer who massacres friend and enemy alike.
Rion, you mean you?
I'm nothing more than Kei's memories of Ryo Nakao.
You're lying. If that's true, then how do you know me? I've never met X.
I talk, and then Uzuki, under the Rion personality, just smiles and goes, I talked a lot about you to Kei, Akira.
What do you mean? What was your relationship?
And then Uzuki is just kind of smiling, and it shows Rion and Uzuki when they were, first getting to know each other during that top secret Save the Chairman's Wife and Daughter mission. And that's the end of chapter 172. Onwards to 173! I know, I'm getting silly. Uh-oh. And we're back here. Days 173 with Kandaka. What is it? Is it Kendaka or Kandaka? Is it Kendaka? Hold on, let me look up his name. Kindaka. It was something Kandaka, but I got the wrong vowel. My bad. But we're back here with Kindaka. We're back here with, hold on, let me boost this just up a little bit. Okay. We're back here with Kindaka laying dead on the ground after the poison completely affected him. And it shows Uzuki running. And this is when Ryo, we are getting what happened. Yes! Yes, we are getting what happened between Rion and Uzuki. And Rion grabs Uzuki, gets him in a chokehold, and wrestles him to the ground with a gun to his face.
Kindaka's dead, Uzuki. All because you dropped the antidote. Did you do it on purpose?
Yes.
Why?
I had no choice. I had to do it. And Uzuki starts fighting Rion using his old trademark whip sword.
You think you can beat me, you gloomy loser?
And then time passes, and I guess they fight. And it shows Uzuki just laying on the ground while Rion is just up against a pillar. They're inside what looks to be like some sort of in-progress building that's being constructed.
Aren't you going to kill me? That's why I came after you, but it seems like there's more to the story. What do you mean you had no choice?
And then Uzuki is silent. And he goes,
My family is being held hostage. Hostage? If I didn't kill Kindaka, then they would have killed Gaku. He's only 13, and he's like a little brother to me. 13? He's just a kid. Who on earth? I grew up in a facility that raised orphans to be assassins. We were weapons of the JAA. We weren't allowed to live lives of our own. We were forced to go on unthinkable missions and kill people we didn't want to, by the man who runs the orphanage, Asaki.
Is that... Now I'm just wondering, is the orphanage still being run now? I'm wondering. So his own brother was running the orphanage that made Gaku, Kumanomi, Carolina Reaper, Club Jam, Haruma, and everyone else that X called friends. He was running that place? And his brother was there too? Oh, I hate Asaki. I hated him before, but I hate him even more right now. But this surprises Rion. And then people all run up. And it's more JA members. Don't move!
Who are you?
Uzuki and Akao. You're under arrest on suspicion of killing Kindaka.
What? Me too?
She had nothing to do with it. If you're innocent, come along and don't give us trouble. Resist even the slightest bit and you're dead.
Okay. Uzuki, if the JAA arrests you, they'll kill you. It's fine. All this time, I never felt alive.
And he just goes with his hands raised. And he walks towards him. Hands behind your back. And Rion, looking like she ain't gonna comply at all. You two. She proceeds to chop this dude directly in his neck, take his gun, and open fire on the other JAA dudes, JAA agents, and kills them. Just straight up takes them all out. They're dead. Yeah, they're dead. Yeah, they're gone. They're dead. Oh, no. They're not dead. They are just grievously injured because one of them manages to get out a sound of pain. And this shocks Uzuki. What was that for? Why'd you save me? Now the JAA will be after you too. It's not too late. Go back to the JCC. Why are you bothering with me?
No reason. I also have family at home I want to protect, so I get it. Besides, you don't seem like a bad guy to me.
And upon hearing this, Uzuki starts getting tears in his eyes. And then some time passes, and now we just have Rion and Uzuki.
What now? I have to go back to Alcamarth, the orphanage. I get that you're worried about your family, but if you go back, the same thing will just keep happening.
But if I don't go back, then everyone...
Fine, we'll just have to think of a way to free your family. You can pay me back with a carton of smokes.
I don't want you to get caught up in this. You don't know how horrible Asaki is.
Hey, don't you go worrying about me, you wimp. I'm already caught up in this.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, we'll think it over while we skedaddle. Anywhere special you want to go?
How can you be so relaxed? They could come after us at any moment.
You're so boring.
There's a lot of dialogue here.
You're so boring. Don't you know how to have fun?
I've never been anywhere but Alkamar in the JCC.
Stop!
What? Where are you going? We can't let people see us. And Rion just gets out.
I just gotta buy some smokes. I got us breakfast too.
And they got food. And they're just enjoying the food. Like I want to say like a corn dog. I haven't had a corn dog in years. Like a classic corn dog. I haven't had one of those in a long time.
Yum!
And they're just enjoying the food. That looks like cake. Is that cake? Ice cream and cake and cake. Ice cream and cake and cake. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
The cafeteria at the JCC is too disgusting.
All the cafeterias the JAA runs are gross. One theory is that assassins are always under extreme stress, so their sense of taste is totally out of whack.
That can't be true. Too bad we don't have any convenience stores in any JAA branches.
Regular companies don't do business with the assassin world.
Dude, you're a real downer. I don't know how to fill up the tank.
Hang on, I think I can figure it out.
Whatever. Let's ditch the car, Uzuki.
And they just continue to travel.
Crap, I'm almost out of cash.
Let's sell something. And it shows a car that also has a sword in the back of it. Just a car that just has like random, it has like random stuff in the back of it, but there's also a sword back there. Huh. And it shows them getting shot at because the JAA is still coming after them.
I know, Uzuki, let's commandeer their car. We can sell it and live out on that for a while.
And then it just shows Rion with Uzuki. What? Wow, this just changes my whole perspective on everything that went down with Rion. She's been just going on a full-on road trip on the run from the JAA. Just chilling with Uzuki back then. We just kept running with no particular destination. But that life wouldn't last for long. Mind you, this is still the Rion personality speaking to Akira. Now, Akira is about to get the truth. And that's the end of chapter 173. Onwards to 174. This is actually really good. And days 174, a certain skilled assassin. And it shows this man running. And while he's running, he stupidly decides to look behind him. And then it shows something cutting through the air. And it looks like Rion just cut this person down. Yeah, she just cut this person down. And someone's handing her some money. Thanks for your help again. Yeah, they're handing her like an envelope full of money. How about quitting the freelance gig and coming to work for us?
I ain't interested in a 9-to-5.
Tsk. And then someone walks up, and it's a bald-headed guy. Who was that? The usual type who comes to us for work. An assassin with some sort of past who's been driven out of the JAA. So long as they're skilled, what do I care? And it shows Rion going to like a faucet and washing her face.
Whew, that rain came out of nowhere.
Welcome home, Rion. I didn't realize it was raining. And it shows Uzuki in this they're all in this old dilapidated place. We'd been on the run for a year. We were squatting in an old abandoned rest stop building and hid out. Yeah, that's the correct way to say that. Just the two of us.
Wow, dinner tonight looks fancy.
I found an emergency stash of food in the backyard and when Rion is showing her hand and moving it away, Uzuki grabs her hand and goes, "Blood! You killed someone again, Rion?"
Forgot to wash that off.
Because she's sliding her hands away, but there's blood on her knuckles. Yo, what's going on? Zakaruga Sentai. What's a Zakaruga? Yeah. What chapter am I on, bro? I am going to join you. I am currently reading chapter 174. We literally just got started. I am on pages 4 and 5. I just got started if you want to read along. No hints about what this chapter is going to build up to anything. We'll see. Let me just keep reading. But it's great to have you here. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the voice.
Blood. You killed someone again, Rion. Forgot to wash that off. I told you,
killing people leaves a trail. If the JAA finds us...
I covered my tracks, okay?
That's not the issue.
We need money to live on. Quit being so naive.
We can conceal our identities and look for work.
We need more than just peanuts. You're forgetting what we're trying to do. We gotta wipe out Alcamar to save your buds. They've got more than 20 veteran assassins working at the orphanage, right? We're totally outgunned and outmanned. Get it? We need dough. Moolah. Money talks.
Gah, if only we had those guys to help. But if we can't risk making contact...
Crap. That was a childish thing to say.
And then Uzuki's looking mad and goes, I don't want you to die. And I don't want you killing anyone.
Yeah, well, if we're gonna save your buds, we're gonna have to kill the enemy.
I know that, but it's how I honestly feel. I wish I hadn't been born into this world. It doesn't feel right to take people's lives. And then maybe we could have... Just for my own... It doesn't feel right to take people's lives just for my own happiness. And then it shows Rion and Uzuki just chilling and trying to sleep. And she's thinking,
so childish.
I like how innocent Kei's thinking is.
But it's not possible. This world isn't kind to everyone.
And she's thinking back to when she was, being there for her niece, Akira.
So it's up to me to make the world a place where kind people can stay kind.
And it cuts to someone speaking to Asaki. We've located Kei Uzuki. He's hiding out in the Tohoku region with Rion Akao, the woman he fled with. We also have intel that Rion Akao has been taking illegal assassination jobs. Rion Akao. So, that woman led Kei astray. That wench. I'm sorry. You don't get to talk about anyone leading anyone astray when you threatened to kill this boy's friends if he didn't abduct the chairman's wife and daughter to hold them hostage so you could take over the JAA. Or the alternative was to kill Kendaka, the fastest man alive. You don't get to talk about anyone leading anyone astray when your brother specifically said he don't want to kill nobody. You don't get to talk. Oh, I don't like him. This picture of saying like, Rion Akao has led my brother astray. Not me, his older brother that threatened to kill his friends if he didn't kill the fastest assassin in history or hold the chairman and the chairman's wife and daughter hostage. Otherwise, I would kill his entire family. But Rion Akao is the bad example.
Am I missing something here?
So, that woman led Kei astray. That wench. He has a very punchable face. Then we're back with Rion. And she's taking jobs from that one dude again. Long time no see. Here's your job today. And she gets it, and she's thinking back to Uzuki. I don't want you killing anyone.
You know, I'll pass on this one. I'm not feeling it.
At least let me tell you about it. The job is simply to escort the daughter of a big corporation CEO to safety. She's an innocent child, just 14. Immediately already drawn red flags. Why do you gotta emphasize that she's an innocent child? It's a corporate war. The other side's got some tough guns too. We need an assassin of your caliber to pull this off.
Fine, but this is the last time.
And Rion is taking another job and texting this to Uzuki.
Gonna be gone a few days. I'll get in touch when the dust settles.
Rion's at it again. It's my fault. I'm forcing Rion to dirty her hands while I hide in safety. I'm such a coward. And while he's answering the text, Asaki just walks into the building. He just walks into the Tohoku spot. How can you live in this dirty hole?
Asaki, how did you find me?
Your little adventure is over. We're going back to Alkamar, Kay.
I'm not going back. You can't push me around anymore.
I know what you're thinking. You want to save your friends at Alkamar, right? Fine. Then let's make a deal. No, this is a deal with the devil. This is literally Alastor from Hazbin Hotel bringing his hand forward and said like, "It's a deal then." Hold on, let me see if I can get the voice.
If only this button was working. Is it? Is it? Well, Kay, my friend, is it a deal then? It's
essentially like that. It's essentially like that. I'm sorry. I had to mess with my voice just a little bit. It's like Alastor giving you his hand. Oh, you seen Hazbin Hotel? Oh, I've seen I want to say the pilot, but I haven't watched the rest of it. I haven't had time. But I know. Let me see. Let me put it to you this way. I watched a lot of Alastor clips. A lot of them. So I know about him. I'm trying to see if you're saying Hazbin Hotel is peak. Okay, yeah. That's what I heard. But yeah. Fine. Then let's make a deal. Let's get back on topic here. Fine. Then let's make a deal. Do one last mission for me. The job is to eliminate a certain skilled assassin. Complete the mission, and I promise to free your friends at Alkamar. And this is and it just shows Gaku, Kumanomi, and Haruma.
You mean that? If I do this, then I can live with Rion and my friends. But I've never killed anyone intentionally.
Thinking back to when Kindaka pretty much died by saving him and saving the antidote.
Can I do it?
And then it shows Rion in a van as she's preparing to do the job that she's doing.
I've made up my mind. When this is over, I'll quit killing. This will be...
And then it shows the face of Rion and Uzuki as she goes,
my last kill.
And Uzuki goes,
my first kill.
And that's the end of chapter 174. Onwards to chapter 175. Days 175. Karma. I want you to get rid of a certain skilled assassin. Complete that mission, and I promise to free your friends at Alkamar.
The target will pass through here at around 5 a.m. Will I be able to kill them? I have to. I can't always just protect myself.
And see, I knew this was going to be the case. I know what's about to happen, because I've seen so many movies where it tells you, hey, I need you to kill this certain individual and then I'll free your friends. This is the situation. I know what's about to happen. So while it shows Uzuki musing while it's still very late and it's starting to get a sunrise, we cut back to a later time, and it shows Rion in this van.
Hey, why are we going this way? This isn't part of the plan.
CEO's orders. Never mind the route. Your job is to take out any attackers.
Stop the car. Something's not right.
And then as she says this, one of their front left tire gets blown out.
They blew out our tire. You take the client and get out of here. I'll hold the enemy back.
And she jumps out of the van in the path of another individual who looks vaguely familiar, who is jumping right towards Rion. And mind you, both of these individuals have their hoods up so they can't see each other's faces.
They're fast.
And while they are clashing with each other, Rion gets tossed straight through a building into a very familiar area that we have already become accustomed to. A very familiar area where it's a dilapidated factory. full of destroyed sections of building, but it's also overgrown. And this person kicks her through the wall. And then all of a sudden, we get a pointed tipped weapon that sends its way straight towards Rion, and she dodges out of the way.
Wait a minute. I've seen that weapon somewhere.
And she proceeds to slash open the hood of this individual, who is revealed to be Kei.
Kei?
Meaning that the mission that Asaki put Uzuki on was for him to kill Rion. Kill two birds with one stone. And they both, and while she's momentarily she's momentarily taken aback by the fact that Kei is there trying to take her out. And her hand isn't moving while Kei stabs her through the chest. In her moment where she paused, Kei stabs her through the chest. And that's when Uzuki realizes that he just stabbed the one person he was actually okay with being around. Aside from his friends at Alkmaar. But the one person that's been sticking with him this entire time. He just realized that he just stabbed her. And she falls to the ground, bleeding from the mouth, looking at him.
Rion? Why are you here? Not bad for an emo loser.
No, Rion, why? Why?
Sorry, Kei. I wanted to protect you all, so that kind people could stay kind.
And then she dies.
Oh my goodness!
This is the moment where Sakamoto ran into Uzuki. This is around that time. This was around that time. Oh my goodness. Jim, what are you okay over there, Jim? You all right? You good? You good? Everything okay? Before we proceed? I want to make sure before we keep going. Interesting. Okay. I'll go ahead and put chat back on. Okay. So this is the moment right before Sakamoto and company, right before Sakamoto found Uzuki, and that's the last impression that Sakamoto had of Rion. It's the JA. They undercover. They trying to scope. They know. I know too much. Hold on. Clark Kent, you don't recognize me. You don't recognize me at all. Let's get back on topic here. So, Rion dies right here. And this leads to the events of Sakamoto thinking that Uzuki killed her, which he kind of did, but he didn't know it was Rion, because they were both put against each other. And then Asaki walks right up, like it's all like, good job, little brother. You did exactly what I told you. I hate this man. So he walks up to Uzuki. You have no right to be sad. Your own foolish choices led you here. Don't go wishing for peace and happiness now. You'll never escape this world. Okay, I feel like Asaki is the reason why Uzuki started having multiple personalities. The strength. The stress. Not strength, but the stress. And while he's standing here, after Asaki has already left, he is still here with Rion's body covered by her jacket, just standing there. And that's when Sakamoto walks up later on. This is when that flashback continued from Sakamoto's perspective.
I was supposed to follow Rion to the grave.
And Sakamoto's right behind him. We know what happens during this conversation between the two of them.
That was supposed to be my fate.
What is this? Situs inversus?
Situs inversus is a rare condition in which the major organs are on the inverse side of the body. Only one in 10,000 to 20,000 people have it. What should have been a fatal bullet wound miraculously missed my organs. So I didn't die.
So when Sakamoto shot him, he didn't shoot him in the heart. He shot him in the space where the heart was supposed to be.
Ah! Oh, blood! Oh my!
Whoa, look at that dude down. Look at that dude down there. Look at that dude. Darn. And it shows Uzuki has struggled to walk while he was just bleeding from the chest. And everyone was just looking at him.
Scary!
That must hurt. Wouldn't want to be him. Someone should help him. Don't look. It's not my problem.
The assassin world and the regular world aren't that different. Nobody reached out to me. Apart from one person, Rion Akao. Why is Rion dead? While I and these jerks and Asaki are alive. Where are the people Rion wanted to protect in this world? Enough. I don't care what happens to this world.
And it shows like the blank landscape of the night. And then it cuts to another location. It's Alkamar. And someone just walks up to the orphanage. It's Kay, and he walks up to the orphanage. Kay? Where have you been? And before the person that's at the front of this office can say anything, his head is dislocated from his shoulders while he's trying to say, where have you been? His head is already in a long-distance relationship from the rest of his body. Ah! What the? Gather all of the assassins in the facility! Kill this kid! And it shows Uzuki with the same look that Anakin gave the Tusken Raiders, and he just massacres them all.
I killed them. The Alkamar staff, the JAA members stationed there, the office workers, the janitor, 34 people, indiscriminately.
He used his whip sword and a regular sword, and he murdered them all. He killed them all. And then it just shows Uzuki walking up into the room where he sees
Gaku, Haruma, Kumanomi, Gozu, Tenkyu. I'm back. Karma wouldn't weigh us down. We have no responsibility for who we kill.
And it shows Uzuki and his crew when they were, when they were walking out. They were walking out later on in life when they were just much older, when he was still going around known as X. It shows him and his entire group. But Gozu and Tenkyu, those are names that are new. Gaku, Haruma, and Kumanomi, I know. But Gozu and Tenkyu are new.
We simply swore to destroy everything.
And behind this panel where it says we simply swore to destroy everything is the classic X symbol that we see that would be, his calling card. And that's the end of chapter 175. I hate Asaki even more now. Because it's because of him that Uzuki is doing everything he's doing now. And now we're back in the present. Days 176, Awaken. While we're here with Uzuki under the Rion personality, still speaking with Akira.
So, Rion, the reason X killed you was...
Yeah, we were set up by that scumbag Asaki.
That's horrible.
Don't cry, Akira. Kei and I are assassins. Once you've killed a person, you're bound to meet a bad end. Just desserts, as they say. But you're different, Akira. I want you to stay the kind person you are.
Rion!
Don't associate with assassins. Go home and lead a normal life. The kind of normal life Kei and I couldn't hope for.
I can't do that. I can't abandon you both.
And then Akira just goes and hugs Uzuki. Rion, essentially.
Well, shoot. Kind people are such a hassle. Come on, Sakamoto, Nagumo, do something!
And then it cuts back to Sakamoto, who has reassumed his fat state. Just double checking chat.
Like I said,
And this is Shin.
like I said, so if we make Sakamoto's into a chain, it'll have stores all over Japan, right?
What, like 7-Eleven?
Exactly. And then? Guess I'll have to be manager of store number 2.
Sweet! Then I'll work there too!
Don't be stupid. There's gonna be a bunch of stores. You can manage store number 3.
What? Me a manager?
I'll have a store that specializes in Chinese ingredients. Sakamoto's Chinese store.
Nice!
And then Wu-Tang is just listening to all of this.
Wait. You're seriously considering this chain thing? To take over the JAA, you have to defeat the Order, right? Can you do that?
Shut up! We're retreating into a fantasy world! Fantasy world, okay? Quit being a wet blanket!
Yeah, don't rain on our parade.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Hold on. There's a package at the door. Let me grab it. Let me grab it real quick. Let me grab it. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Everything's cool. Let me just grab this package. Sincerest apologies. I thought there was a package at the door. There was, but it was for the wrong house, so I had to go and bring that back to our neighbors. All right, let's continue. Sorry about stepping away. Won't happen again. But, back to Shin going,
Shut up! We're retreating into a fantasy world, okay? Quit being a wet blanket! Yeah, don't rain on our parade!
oh. Sorry, I ran.
Oh, I didn't realize.
We get it, okay? Mr. Sakamoto's one thing, but the rest of us don't stand a chance against the Order. Compared to the Order, as we stand now.
Seagar! Been binging your channel, wanted to give a shout. Well, hello! Hopefully you've been enjoying the stuff that's been on my channel. If you have, hey, it means I did my job. Sorry if I sound a little bit winded. I had to run downstairs real quick, check on a package at the front of the door, return package that didn't belong to us to our neighbors, and then run all the way back. Sorry, there was it was just me running back and forth across the neighborhood. So yeah, I'm a little bit catching my breath a little bit so I can give you the proper voice. But hopefully you've enjoyed the stuff that I had on my channel. Hopefully you have. And if you have, well, you know.
We get it, okay? Mr. Sakamoto's one thing, but the rest of us don't stand a chance against the Order. Compared to the Order, as we stand now. Well, in that case... Mr. Sakamoto, let's start intensive training! Whatever it takes, let's do it!
Whoa, you're all fired up! All good, bros, still here. I thank you for your patience when moments like these happen. I thank you. When I feel like the greatest thing that a YouTuber can have, or a streamer to have, are patient people who watch. I don't want it to be too comfortable to just calling you viewers, because you know that just makes it seem like you're just another notch on a YouTuber's checklist. But you're people. So it's a good thing to have people who are patient with you when certain things happen. So I greatly appreciate it.
Mr. Sakamoto, let's start intensive training. Whatever it takes, let's do it!
Whoa, you're all fired up.
Intensive training. He has a point. Right now, they can barely protect themselves. But Shin has his style, and Heisuke has his. There's not a lot I can teach them. Actually, I need to get back on top of my own game.
Mr. Sakamoto!
I need to at least get back to my glory days.
And while he's eating some noodles, just speaking like this, it shows like a movie where it says, "Master,
well done, student."
If only I had a master.
And then we cut back to a hospital. Where Kendaka is still being cared for. What's this invalid?
Don't worry about what doesn't concern you. Our job is to kill that traitor Nagumo. And according to the intel department, Nagumo's been paying this patient's hospital bills.
For real? Must be someone special to him, huh?
Apparently. So if we watch over this invalid, Nagumo might show up.
Interesting. As it shows that Nagumo is amongst the group that's watching over Kendaka. This man scares me with how effortless and how seamless his disguises are. He's already in the midst of this group. And he just casually cuts the head off. He just cuts his head off. Oh, he cuts his head off. Nagumo cuts his head off. He cuts the head off. You just see the blood coming out the back of the skull. And then the head falling off. And when they go, and when the other two people who are in the room go for their guns, Nagumo rips up a sheet, puts it in front of their way, then he apparently slides under the bed and cuts all of their legs off. In one swift motion, he just cuts their legs off. Just slices through the bone. Not just like two legs. No, I mean 2 sets of legs. 2 sets of legs. They are legless. And then Nagumo proceeds to embed knives in both of their skulls, with only a little bit of blood on the wall. Huh. This might be the last time I can come here. I was able to get this hospital room thanks to my order privileges, but since I got fired, that access will be revoked. Well, now that we've confirmed Akao's death, I guess there's no need to keep Kindaka alive. And Nagumo is just thinking back to when they were chilling with Kindaka during that whole big escort mission. So long, Kindaka. And ain't no way. He's been in a coma. He's been in a coma. He's been in a coma for all of these years. He's been in a coma. The poison. He's been on life support all these years. And before Nagumo can move away, Kindaka suddenly grabs his wrists, opens his eyes for the first time in years, says,
Nagumo, what's the situation?
And just, Kitty. Kindaka is awake. Heyo, it's good to see you, Kitty. Kindaka is awake. The fastest man alive is awake. He's awake. And that's the end of chapter 176. Onwards to chapter 177. We're almost done. We're almost done with today's chapters. And in a colorful set of panels, we get Kindaka sitting up with Nagumo looking absolutely flabbergasted. I mean, dumbfounded. I mean, completely mentally hoodwinked. I mean, bamboozled. He's just going, Kindaka. Days 177. Kindaka! And then we get a beautiful color spread here where it shows Sakamoto and company cleaning a pool. So we have Sakamoto, Nagumo, we have Shishiba, we have Amane, Heisuke, Shin, and Lu, and that appears to be Miss Osaragi. This is the first time I've ever seen Osaragi in anything except her goth Lolita-looking outfit that she's always had on.
8 years? I was in a coma?
For almost a decade, this man was in a coma, and now he's awake.
8 years? I was in a coma for 8 years? You haven't changed a bit. How old are you?
How rude. I've been through plenty. The doctor said you'd never wake up. It's a miracle. How much do you remember, Kindaka?
Right. I was on a bodyguard assignment with you kids. Huh? Where are the others? Sakamoto and Akao and Uzuki. Are they alive?
And then time passes because apparently Nagumo explains everything that's happened over the past 8 years.
It's so hard to believe. That quiet boy Uzuki has been terrorizing the JAA? I didn't realize things were that out of hand.
Well, anyway, I'm glad you woke up, Kindaka. Honestly, I quit the order and times are tight.
Huh?
Your life support bill is $1.2 million per month, after half the costs are covered by assassin insurance, so the total cost for 8 years is $1.15 billion. I've been paying it for you, so get me back as soon as you can, and it's all good.
Nagumo, I just came back to life and you hand me this?
Sorry about that. I've got some expenses like weapon repairs and whatnot. Talk soon! And then Nagumo just leaves.
Harsh. Oh well. Guess I'll do a few gigs as rehab. Just kill 20 or 30 of these targets on the bounty list. Let's see. My ID. Huh? That fat soul's 1 billion? Sheesh. Assassins have gone soft these days. Wait. That name? Poor Fatso. He's got the same name as... Nagumo said that Sakamoto retired. So there's no way this could be him. Cool. Perfect for my first rehab gig. Forgot to explain the recent stuff with Sakamoto.
Oh well. Oh great! Kindaka sees Sakamoto's fat state, doesn't recognize that it's actually Taro Sakamoto, and decides, I'm gonna go after him first. To help me get back into the swing of things. But can we also talk about how this man's hospital bill is 1.50... What? 1.50 billion. 1.50 billion. Hold on. I need to look this up. 1.15 billion yen to US dollars. $7,502,715 US dollars. That is how much Kendaka's medical bill is. 7.5 million US dollars. The glasses, that's the reason why I got them. That's the reason why I got them. Oh, that hurt. That hurt me to my soul. $7.5 million in hospital expenses. And the thing that gets me is 1.2 million per month. That's how long he was kept on life support. That's how much it costs per month to keep him there. 1.2 million a month. Not even healthcare. Not even healthcare. That's cheap for 8 years of life support. That dollar amount ends in an illion. I don't see how that could even be seen as remotely cheap. The cost ends in an illion. Not an aller, illion. Okay, getting back to this. Now we're getting Sakamoto as they're all apparently jogging because, Kendaka doesn't realize that fat Sakamoto is the same Sakamoto he was with all those years ago. But Heisuke, Shin, and I know I've been taking some tangents off, please forgive me. But Sakamoto, Shin, and Heisuke are all jogging. Hey, Shin, do we really have to run on such a sweltering day?
Don't be a wimp. We gotta get as tough as we can for when the order attacks.
Is this really gonna make us better?
Is this really gonna make us better fighters?
I don't know. I've never had a master, so I'm lost at times like this. Like what we should be doing.
And then someone goes, ah!
Huh?
As Shin senses something, and something comes bounding in incredibly fast at high speeds, ricocheting off the buildings with enough force to literally break the buildings on impact.
Something's coming at a tremendous speed.
This man has been in a coma for 8 years. Let me say it again. This man has been in a coma for 8 years. And he moving like he's only been asleep been in a coma for 8 minutes. He is already behind Shin and Sakamoto while they're looking in the direction of where he was before, rebounding off of these buildings like he hasn't lost a step.
Yeesh, my legs are all slow from being bedridden.
And Sakamoto looks at him and goes,
You're... Don't just stand there staring, fatso. It's not a good look.
You're not from the Order. Do you work for X?
Kindaka? You're alive. You're awake? What? You know my name. Impressive intel. Now that billion-yen bounty makes a bit more sense.
You know him, Mr. Sakamoto?
I'll explain later. Shin, Heisuke, don't take your eyes off of him for 1 second. He'll kill you in the blink of an eye.
and as he says this, Kendaka's already gone. He is already gone! All that's left is an imprint in the ground from the force of him launching himself. The cratered ground from where he just jumped from, it's all that we see. And he's already clotheslining Sakamoto!
What do you mean?
As Shin is saying this, Sakamoto is also being forcibly clotheslined by Kendaka and sent flying into a distant building halfway across the road.
Mr. Sakamoto! So fast!
I forgot how fast you were.
Hey, Skate, I'll hold him up for a second. Sync up! You got it! Stop!
And as this is happening, somehow Kendaka notices... Hold up. No, wait. Did I just witness what I just witnessed? Hold up. While Shin is trying to send the thought to Kendaka to stop, Kendaka feels something about to approach him, and he moves out of the way, causing a woman behind him to be affected by Shin's stop mind block. I want to call it a mind block. I don't know the official name for it. That means that Kendaka... Let me just put... these people are busted! Let me just put it into perspective for you what this essentially means. Shin is sending a thought to a person to cause their body to seize up. Thought in and of itself is basically almost instantaneous. It is a thought. It is not held back by speed. You just look at a person and just go, stop, and then that person stops. The speed of thought is a concept of speed that no regular person should be able to dodge out of the way of. Kendaka could sense it coming and moved out of the way, meaning that Kendaka is faster than the speed of thought. When I said he was the fastest man alive, I was making a joke that he was the Flash. I didn't realize he actually was the Flash, because the Flash can move faster than the speed of thought. He senses the thought coming towards him and moves out of the way and just dashes out. And a lady gets hit.
Huh?
And she's wondering why she suddenly stopped.
Crap! Missed him.
And Heisuke shoots. Heisuke shoots directly into the path of where Kendaka's going to be. And this man is the Flash! Because we see the bullet in real time as Kendaka is just looking at the bullet and looking at Heisuke. If I could turn time, if I could hold time in a bottle. Or is it trap time? If I could trap time in a bottle. Tell you what I like to do. Just, really? Why don't you just mail me the bullet? It's just...
Whoa, even when I move too fast for the naked eye, he still has a perfect bead on my route. Dude's got crazy intuition. And this kid tried to pull something from a distance. Don't know what it was, so I just dodged. What's he got up his sleeve?
He's already grabbing Shin and Heisuke, and he has them both. This man is the Flash! How would you mean this man is fast enough where bullets seem slow to him? This is from a sniper rifle. They're technically supposed to be one of the fastest shooting guns because they're sniper rifles, and Kendaka's literally has more than enough time to look at the bullet, look at Heisuke, grab Shin, grab Heisuke, and pull them both together.
You two kids are fun. New to the JAA? Nice to meet ya.
Much to their horror, as they find themselves directly next to each other. Then all of a sudden, their bodies are jerked with extreme force, and Kendaka just casually tosses the two of them aside. Shin gets tossed into a car. Heisuke gets tossed into a far-off building. That's his strength. I was thinking about Quicksilver in X-Men Days of Future Past when you were singing that song. Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? Like, it's literally that. He's just, the bullets are too... Oh, I gotta go. See you. All right, Kitty. It was great having you here. Continue to rest up, recover, drink as many fluids as you can, stay warm, sweat everything out so that way you can get it out of your system. We will see you in the next one, but most importantly, stay safe. But this man has not only incredible inhuman leg strength, but he has incredible inhuman arm strength, just tossing people into cars nonchalantly.
He's not just insanely fast. He's like an invisible missile.
And while Kendaka's standing there, Sakamoto is coming down from above, and Kendaka just blocks him.
Why are you targeting me, Kendaka? It's Sakamoto, don't you remember me? I hear Sakamoto got pretty famous 8 years ago. So now he's got imitators, huh? What? No, I'm the real... I guess if you call yourself Taro Sakamoto, most assassins get freaked, huh? Too bad that won't work on me. The real Sakamoto was a friend of mine. I know exactly how good he is. Kendaka. So long, phony!
And then, while Sakamoto's standing there, as Kendaka's preparing to speed up towards him,
I'll prove to you that I'm the real Sakamoto.
And then we see a fist. Something was directly... Also, Time in a Bottle was in another X-Men movie with that same Quicksilver. I know, that's the reason why I sung those two specific songs, because this literally was a Quicksilver moment. But as soon as Kendaka is speeding towards Sakamoto, something flies in front of his face, and the both of them go sailing off of this highway down to the rail yard beneath them, a train rail yard. And they both land on a train.
Whoops, screwed up. What the heck, dude? Huh?
And while that's going, it shows Kendaka on top of a train, and it's a bullet train. So, and there's also this steel girder that he's speeding towards, and he's all like,
ah! Forget it. I'm the world's fastest assassin. You think I can't outrun a train?
And it shows Kendaka just using all of his speed to outrun the speed of a bullet train to keep from getting smacked by this low-hanging steel girder. And that, in the process of doing that, Sakamoto, in his slim form, delivers a solid punch to Kendaka to the point where not only does Kendaka land and hit the steel girder that's right above the train, but it bends under the force of Sakamoto punching him into it. The whole thing is just bending from Sakamoto punching him.
Yikes!
And they both go sailing off the train. And then he spits out some blood going,
"Phew. That was really something. Time to crank it up a notch."
And while he's looking, he then realizes,
huh?
As he's directly in front of Sakamoto, the way Sakamoto looked to him the last time.
Dang, sorry. Never would have guessed you got so fat. When do you wake up? Yesterday. Why didn't y'all wake me up earlier? You're Sakamoto's assistants? You're pretty good.
Thanks. Okay, everything's been resolved.
Can't believe he can move like that after 8 years in bed. What was he like back in the day?
Crazier.
So, what the heck were y'all doing back there?
And I know he's saying y'all, but I'm not going to give him like a southern accent.
Dang, sorry, never would have guessed you got fat. You're Sakamoto's assistants? You're pretty good.
No, I'm not gonna change his accent that I've been giving him. He's sticking with the Russian or Austrian accent. Russian. He's sticking with the Russian accent.
So what the heck were y'all doing back there?
We were working out, trying to get stronger. Oh, found him. The perfect master.
Huh?
What?
And Kendaka's looking at him all confused. He also found a way to replace the lens in his goggles because when he was looking at Sakamoto before he decided to take it up a notch, one of his lenses was just like busted. And apparently enough time has passed where he just straight up fixed it, just literally minutes later. So apparently the master that Sakamoto is looking to get trained by is literally the fastest man in this series. That was the end of chapter 177. Onwards to days 178. One more and then we are finished. Days 178 means an end.
Master? Of you guys? Forget it.
What?
Sounds like a hassle. Why me anyway?
You taught us stuff before.
Wait, I did? Sorry, I'm busy. I owe Nagumo money.
Money?
Money? How much?
About 1.2 billion yen.
I'll put up the funds.
Mr. Sakamoto, you don't have those kinds of savings.
My plan is to take over the JAA and open stores all over Japan. I'll get the money.
What? Wait, take over the JAA?
Shoot, this guy's still a JAA assassin. In other words, he's the enemy.
Sounds fun. I'll help.
What? Just like that?
Quit getting so excited. You're loud. And Sakamoto just pops Shin in the head for just being loud. The fact that Kendaka just casually says, like, that sounds like fun, taking over the JAA. I'll help you out.
You know, I've always hated that Asaki guy who's the chairman now. I was already on the fence about going back to the JAA.
Footloose and fancy free, huh?
I see.
And then time passes, and then Kendaka gets explained everything that went down. We'll put the glasses back on later.
I see. In other words, you're up against both the Order and X's gang, so you need to get stronger.
Yeah.
Blondie and Droopy Eyes. Yeah, I wouldn't mind training you. Judging from how you moved back there, you've got potential. But Sakamoto? Forget it.
What do you got against me?
Dude, I've got nothing to teach you. If you want to exceed the level you're at now, it's gonna take some really extreme training. Like narrowly escaping the jaws of death.
How am I supposed to do that?
By fighting you-know-who.
You know who? And it just shows... And then next thing we see is Torres. You know, the dude that had like a gambling addiction that is with the Order? And he's going,
garbage. That horse racing predicting AI app was totally useless. Whoever made it was a moron. Wait, think this through, dude. If I quit now, I waste that 1,000 yen I paid for it. The way to win is to keep trying until it happens. Everyone knows that. Huh?
And then apparently Sakamoto's just walking through town, and Torres notices him.
Guess killing is still the best way to make a buck. It's a beautiful world, ain't it? Hey, do it.
And then Sakamoto's just casually going, you know who. And then a car comes careening in right behind him, and Sakamoto just hops over it. Great timing. My store! And then it shows someone running up to Sakamoto with like a... Kindaka's the GOAT. Yes, he is. So it shows this dude running up with a very lethal skip it, and he starts slinging this, I want to say a ball and chain weapon towards Sakamoto, but it's literally just this weight. Like, think Kusarigama, but without the bladed other end. And he tries to swing it in the direction of Sakamoto. Sakamoto takes a beach ball and instantly blows it up to not only absorb the blow of it hitting his face, but also catching it. After it bounces off, Sakamoto then proceeds to take the dude's goggles, which is attached by an elastic band, and pulls it as much as he can. This is such a Three Stooges thing to do. He just pulls the goggles all the way back and then just lets go of it so it can snap the dude in the throat, sending him flying backwards. Then another assassin comes up with Sakamoto grabbing what looks to be like a little bit of a bug net, and he tries to aim at Sakamoto. And Sakamoto, taking this net, proceeds to grab him by the head and yank him directly into a telephone pole, breaking said telephone pole. And then another person runs up and goes, "Cut the crap, Sakamoto." And then Sakamoto takes basically an ice cream cone handle, a ice cream cone. I know what I said. I said ice cream cone. An ice cream cone handle, or like a gripper or whatever that is, Turkish ice cream. Yeah, he takes it from the custodian who's there in front of the stand and proceeds to try and jab at the guy, and then the guy grabs it thinking like, "Gotcha." Not realizing that all he's grabbed was just like a spare ice cream cone. I hope the choreography is amazing. I hope the anime does it justice. Yeah, I hope it does it justice as well. But realizes that the guy has only grabbed the wrapper of the ice cream cone. And then it shows, then he goes, "Ugh, rats." And then Sakamoto takes this whole handle and basically just gives this dude a full-on frontal wedgie with his clothes and proceeds to, like, pick him up by the scruff of his clothes. He's already been pantsed. He has already been pantsed, and then proceeds to just flip him over and slam him headfirst into the pavement. And Sakamoto standing there in the midst of all this dust floating around. And then Torres walks up. "Mate, come on. What's your problem, Sakamoto? Why didn't you kill them?" "You're from the Order." "Shoot, I haven't started training yet." "I need you to kill more people. I owe the JAA 60.2 billion. The bounty on you right now is way too puny. Do me a favor, would you? You gotta kill a bunch of people so the bounty goes up." I don't follow." "If I kill you now, it's only 1 billion. It's like when someone says, 'Here's 300 yen for a snack.'" And Sakamoto is just thinking to himself, and then the words from Kindaka goes, "By fighting, you'll know who." So in other words, fighting the Order will make for the best training. His training to go past his limits is to literally fight the Order itself. Also, Taurus has got a real bad addiction. I need you to kill more people so that they'll make your bounty higher, so that when I kill you, I can pay off my debt. Your bounty's too small. I need you to kill more people so they can consider you an even more dangerous threat. Not knowing that Sakamoto doesn't kill anymore. But that's the end of chapter 178. Onwards to the last chapter for today. Days 179, Torres. How did I know that this chapter was going to be centered on Torres? How did I know? Days 179, Torres. Honestly, I wish I didn't have to kill anyone. Killing is tiring and scary and painful. Blood stinks and your clothes get dirty. Plus, everyone in this industry's a nut job. Then why are you an assassin? 'Cause the money's good. Why else would someone bother with this tiresome crap? Why do you need so much money? For gambling. Like pachinko? You like that stuff? Yeah, well, dude, lay off already. Quit asking me why. What are you, a toddler?
Assassins sure are idiots. My wife says gamblers are idiots. Not true. The ones who lose are idiots. That makes you an idiot then. My game ain't over. I'm on my way to winning.
Voice is still on point. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It means that my training is getting better. But also, Owie. The words from Owie saying, like, my wife says gamblers are idiots. Literally just calling this dude an idiot to his face.
Not true. The ones who lose are idiots. That makes you an idiot then. My game ain't over. I'm on my way to winning. Is that so?
And then there's high-speed movement as Sakamoto proceeds to kick Torres straight through a car. Surprised to see that Torres caught his foot and goes,
Didn't I tell you, Sakamoto? Your 1 billion yen bounty isn't worth enough yet. Huh? What's that sound?
And it shows like this. And then all of a sudden, Sakamoto is blasted out of this van. It wasn't a car. It was a van. Let me be specific. Too long to be a car. He gets blasted out of the van. And when he gets back, it shows that Sakamoto's slippers, which have not ever been destroyed or even touched or harmed in any way, his own sandals, his slippers that he's always wearing, his own slippers have a hole in them.
He busted my Sakamoto's brand slippers made with aramid fibers. What's this? What's this sand? Wait a sec.
Super strong synthetic fibers used for bulletproof vests. That's what aramid fibers are.
I'm not gonna kill you yet. I'm waiting for the rate to go up, but...
And then it shows that same car that Torres is inside, both the front and back ends of it just suddenly just get blown up.
First, I want to know if you're a card worth betting on. Let's see what you're made of. Don't down me yet, cash cow.
This guy reminds me. This guy reminds me of Mr. Nobody from John Wick Chapter 4. Literally going after John, just waiting for his bounty to continuously go up. Except this dude probably isn't going to stop if Sakamoto saves the dog. So,
let's see what you're made of. Don't down me yet, cash cow.
And it shows that he has like these, blasters. These blasters that are on his hands right now inside of his sleeves.
A sandblaster.
Sandblasting. A machining method that uses compressed air to mix and blow an abrasive material. The abrasive material can be gravel, glass, or shards of metal.
Bullets are expensive. If it costs $44 to fire 59mm bullets, I'd rather spend that money on horse racing.
This dude's got a worse gambling addiction than Toji. Toji Fushiguro from Toji Zenin. And Sakamoto grabs a do not enter sign and throws it towards Torres, who in an instant uses his sandblaster, which I think is beyond. Good eye. It is from John Wick. Look, I said that Sakamoto Days is as if John Wick turned into a family man. This is exactly what Sakamoto Days is. This is exactly what Sakamoto Days is, except all the feats that John does, the stories that they tell, everyone does it on a regular basis. Everyone does it on a regular basis. But this do not enter sign goes flying towards Torres, and Torres activates this sandblaster with such a high degree of pressure that it literally turns the entire sign, pole and metal sign alike, into nothing but sand in an instant. It is literally atomized before it even gets near him. And the whole... Yeah, see, why y'all gotta go overboard? Why y'all had to do that? You just need to do enough to destroy the sign. You don't have to tear up the entire parking lot. Sorry, I gave myself hiccups because of that. So the air pressure from this blaster not only destroys the sign, but also carves a deep old hole into the parking lot that they're in, destroying the pavement, destroying the ground underneath the pavement, and completely obliterating the fence that's behind this parking lot.
That's some impressive firepower. If he hits me, I'm hamburger.
And Torres shows that he's a very fast individual as he lands he's right behind Sakamoto and tries to blast him again. And all we see is an explosion from the perspective of a person on the ground floor as Sakamoto is literally thrown inside of a monorail. Toji was another gambler and a Tsunade, but at least with Tsunade, she knew when to stop gambling. As soon as she was asked to be Hokage, she stopped. Actually, I want to say she kind of stopped. It wasn't as intense as this. She was a gambler, but that's only because of the first Hokage, because he kind of spoiled her. And with Toji, he made bad decisions all the time, but no one could ever tell him otherwise because he was literally one of the strongest people in the world at the time. So Sakamoto gets tossed into a monorail thanks to Torres.
He's fast. He sure can move for a big guy.
And while the monorail is moving, Torres is still airborne as the monorail is moving away from him. He activates the air blaster and using the extreme pressure, cuts the bottom of the monorail off. You know, the part where people are relying to stand on if they're not sitting down. He cuts the entire bottom half of the monorail out. Ah, the floor's gone! And a kid who looks like he was just, on the floor starts to fall, and Sakamoto sees him as this small child is left at the mercy of potentially sliding into oncoming traffic. And the kid falls, except Sakamoto grabs a hold of him.
Stay in your seat.
Thanks.
And then Sakamoto is hanging on one of the handrails. I completely forgot to remember what this thing was called inside of the subway. The last time we were in a subway fight was against Nagumo and Sakamoto during the flashback of Rion, Nagumo, and Sakamoto when they were younger. That's the last time I tried looking up what it was called. Like, handguard. He's holding on to it, just telling the kid to sit in his seat. And Torres is already inside of the subway.
Well, aren't you nice? You shouldn't gamble, Sakamoto. I don't intend to, but why not? You have no talent.
As he uses an air blaster to destroy the handrail.
You have no talent.
He destroys the strap that Sakamoto is holding on to in the subway, and he starts to fall.
In gambling.
And he immediately gets blasted. He immediately gets blasted by the air blaster, and it's enough to kind of draw a little blood.
In gambling, the dudes who wait to get lucky and draw a good hand always lose. It's all about how you'll play the hand you're dealt. You rely too much on luck. You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, waiting for your bounty payday.
But as Sakamoto is falling, he suddenly takes the spare handrail that was separated and grabs onto Torres' foot, allowing Sakamoto to get him in a position where he can put him in a leg lock.
Huh?
And they both start falling towards the ground. And Sakamoto does a leg suplex and slams Torres face first into an oncoming car. He just grabs him by the leg and then slams him into an oncoming car. And Torres doesn't even show a hint of blood on his face from this, Why are these people so built different? He just says, "Ow." And Sakamoto just gets up and starts wobbling away from him. Phew. Looks like a guy snaking off to avoid a loan shark.
My car!
And Sakamoto is going into an alleyway going, I lost. If he'd been playing for real, I'd been dead. I'd be dead. I really do need to up my game. You rely too much on luck. It's all about it's all about how you play the hand you're dealt. The hand I'm dealt. What's that mean? And that's the end of chapter 179. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of today's session, meaning that the next session we have next Monday, first Monday of November, will be me fully catching up to the entirety of Sakamoto Days, and then the chapter reactions will move to Sunday. I'm letting you guys all know now, for those of you who have managed to, last all the way through this entire session. I appreciate you, by the way. Sakamoto Days will be moving to Sundays, and they will be there with One Piece when those chapters release on Sundays. And those reactions I tend to do starting at 1 o'clock when I get home from church, and then just do it regularly throughout. So yeah, we're getting much closer to Sakamoto Days fully being on Sunday reactions, and then Mondays can be days for other things. But we've learned so much. Well, I learned so much. I don't know about you guys. I learned so much from all these chapters. Finding out that Uzuki killed Rion without realizing it was Rion. So it wasn't his fault. It was Asaki's fault. That Uzuki is the one who pretty much put him on this path. Not only that, but apparently the Takamura personality is impossible to control, because personalities created by Uzuki are defined by how Uzuki views that person. So in Takamura's case, Takamura is uncontrollable, unstoppable, and a world-ending killing machine that no one can stand against. And it's only by sheer dumb luck that the Rion personality managed to subdue the Takamura personality for now, because otherwise Takamura would have killed everyone there. So that's going on. Sakamoto wants to turn the Sakamoto store into a chain store by taking over the JAA. So that's happening. Sakamoto realizes that I need to train, I need a new master, I need to up my game, because in order for us to bring down the JAA and take it over, well, for us to take it over, we gotta beat the Order. And the Order are on a whole nother level of where we are right now. So now they're training. Not only that, Nagamo checks on Kendaka, who wakes up for the first time in 8 years. Has a bounty of 1.2 billion. I said 1.15, but the bounty and has a bill. I said not bounty. Has a bill of 1.2 billion yen to pay off. And decides to go after Sakamoto. Finds out that it's really Sakamoto and is all like, oh, my bad. I didn't know, bro. My bad. I didn't know. So everything gets explained. Kendaka's on board with taking over the JAA, and the man feels like he really hasn't lost a step. The man said his legs still feel wobbly after being bedridden for 8 years, and yet this man outpaced everyone as if not a day changed. This is literally like Garp in the last episode of One Piece, where he blitzed not only Kuzan, but also Avalo with his Galaxy Divider! Like, y'all, if anyone's seen that episode from One Piece, where he's just streaking across, Pirate Island in an instant, that's pretty much how fast Kendaka is. Even though it's been 8 years, his muscles should have atrophied after 8 years, and he's moving as if he only been asleep for 8 minutes. Like I said, crazy. Sakamoto, and he's saying like, sure, I'll train Shin and Heisuke, because they got potential, but I can't train you, because I got nothing to teach you. So the only way you're going to be able to go beyond the level you are now is by getting into a life or death battle with fighting you-know-who. And the first person he fights is Torres, who has air blasters that are capable of atomizing anything that comes his way. And and he's also insanely fast. And Sakamoto acknowledges that he lost this fight with Torres, meaning that Sakamoto has to go beyond plus ultra. Go beyond his limits. This is what it means to go even further beyond. He has to go beyond anything he has ever done before in order to take down the Order. Not take them out, but take them down. Sakamoto's got to have his own anime training arc, even after everything we've seen him do from the beginning of this series all the way until now. This bruh says, I need to go to another level, because it's not good enough. That's where we're at right now. I cannot wait to read the next series of chapters in my last final read through of me catching up to Sakamoto Days. I cannot wait to see where the story has recently left off. Because like I said before, the most recent chapter was 187. The newest chapter is going to be dropping this upcoming Sunday, which means that on the next Monday, this upcoming Monday, I'll be able to read the most recent chapter literally a day later on top of all the other chapters, and I can be fully caught up with it, so I cannot wait to do that. I'm so glad that there's not too many of it, so that way I don't have to leave it off, but that's where we're at with the story of Sakamoto Days, and I am here for it. I'm here for it. This is an amazing series. And like Zakaruga said, let's see if they can do this series justice. Seeing as how there are so many panels into this series that are just well drawn. Like the shot where Kendaka was rebounding throughout the city and landing on a telephone pole right behind Sakamoto, that was beautifully done. The shot of Uzuki overlooking a JAA weapons factory with Kumanomi and Kanaguri there as well. That was very well done. There was a lot of good scenes, a lot of good well-drawn scenes in this entire series of chapters. So let's see if the anime can do this justice. But I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. You have been such a wonderful audience to entertain this afternoon, and I just want to say thank you for sticking this out with me for the 2 hours. Apparently, it's now reached 2 hours that I've been reading this. It's been amazing. It's been fun. And next Monday will be the last time I read Sakamoto Days on a Monday, because everything will move to Sunday after that. So I hope to see you guys in my final read-through catch-up session, where we read the rest of all the chapters of Sakamoto Days, and I can be fully caught up. But I'm done. All I can say to everyone, from anyone who's new to those who are here regularly, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all. And when I say that, I mean that. I really can't wait to see you guys, because you guys help brighten up what I'm doing here. You really do, just by being here. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples!